The fastest striking snakes in the world. We're going to feed a few of them. And we got some fangs in your face coming up.
Fangs in your face. Subscribe now.
Hey, a big Venom Central thank you to our big supporters. Len Brewer. Hey Len, thank you so much for all the little goodies you just sent us. I mean, it's all stuff that we need and we use every day. So thank you so much. We love you, Len. Hey, a brand new member to the squad, Ron Sikora. Hey, thank you so much, Ron, and welcome to the Venom squad, brother. Peter Carmici. Thank you so much, Peter. Andrew Vislowski. Thank you, Andrew. And Paul Gretsch. Right on, mate. What's up, Venom Squad? Hey, today we're going to talk about some interesting stuff. Now, everybody's got their idea of what they've heard or what they know. What is the fastest striking snake in the world? And I'm going to tell you, there is no definitive evidence of any of them being the fastest striking snake. I mean, we all know that puff adders, gaboons, they can blaze, right? And of course, rattlesnakes. I mean, we've got a bunch of snakes that are extremely fast. And black mambas, they have an incredibly fast strike. You realize a black mamba's strike, I mean, when they break it down, it's like 600 miles an hour. That's like insane, okay? But let me tell you something. There was a study done at the University of Louisiana, and they broke it down with some of our native snakes, okay? And you would be amazed to learn that one of the fastest striking snakes here in the good old US of A is the common rat snake. And they used a group of like Texas rat snakes and a group of, I believe it was water moccasins, and then they used a group of western diamondbacks. And the numbers were kind of staggering. But as a whole, on an average, the Texas rat snake, just your regular old common rat snake, had a faster strike than the rattlesnakes and the cottonmouths. And cottonmouths are quick too. But there was one rattlesnake that delivered one defensive strike, and they done it so it was a defensive strike, so it'd be really fast, that just went a little bit higher. But and overall, on the numbers, the Texas rat snake was faster. I mean, we're talking numbers like the rat snake was 190 meters per second. That averages out to like 425 miles per hour. I mean, that's blazing, okay? And the cottonmouths were like 170 to 173 meters per second. That translates to like 380 something miles an hour. And last but not least, your western diamondback, the rattlesnakes that they used in this study, was at like 169 or 170 meters per second, which I put it in a converter and it was like 378 or 79 miles an hour. I mean, that's blazing. But as an overall, the damn common rat snake was faster. I mean, it held the highest amount of numbers in the average, right? A lot of non-venomous snakes are extremely fast. I mean, some of y'all own boa constrictors and pythons and stuff, and when you see that strike and coil, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you blink, you'll miss it. Here's an interesting fact. You know, the blink of an eye, literally, it's like 202 milliseconds, okay? That's like, boom, a blink. That's how quick it is. A snake's strike is actually less than half of that. So it's like sick, right? I mean, you're not getting out of the way of a striking snake. If a snake is locked onto you and it delivers a strike and it misses, consider yourself lucky. Because the only way you're getting out of the way of a snake is luck. Because you're not faster than a snake. And what's interesting is a lot of mammal reaction times, like say, startled, if they get startled, it's a minimum of what a snake strike is. A snake doesn't have to use but 1/10 of its speed to hit its prey. It's incredible. But anyways, we had a little rat snake that I removed from the yard the other day, and I did a thing with him striking, and we're going to pop a little video of that in there of him striking, and he's pretty quick. You know, and you don't realize how quick they really are. And so it's interesting stuff, but I'll tell you something. Now, everybody's got their ideal of what's the fastest snake, and they'll come up with, you know, of course we know the puff adder's been rated off the charts, and the gaboons, and a lot of your African Bitis. And what's interesting is, and I even talk about this when we do the fangs in your face, and just the stuff that I've been recording and studying. And I read an article where they're talking about they somehow are monitoring how these snakes build. They build energy before they release a strike. And you'll notice that in some of the puff adder feedings today, okay, because they actually do their nestling thing and they settle in before they explode. And they're pretty prevalent. They've been doing it a lot lately. I think that's them snakes building energy, building blood to their muscles, and just to release that kinetic pow. You know what I mean? But we have got some insane fangs in your face coming up, and you don't want to miss it. So, and don't blink, okay? Because you'll miss it. But let me tell you something else now. This is a fine example of Bitis feeding today, of feeding the African Vipers, of unpredictability in these snakes, okay? And I've been doing this 38 years, and I'm gonna tell you that you never know what they're gonna do. I try my best to incite a predatory strike, and I got all predatory strikes. And normally a predatory strike consists of one strike and they hang on, or sometimes they'll bite it and let it go. But this puff adder here, let me tell you something. It threw me for a loop, and I figured out what happened later on, because it went crazy. And you're gonna see this and realize that, you know what, these ain't pets. This ain't a snake that you free handle. This ain't a snake that you take any liberties with, because they can take you down quick, Jack. And this snake goes ballistic, and boom, 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 it strikes everywhere. If I didn't have my skill set and my damn shield that covers my hand when I'm doing these feedings, I've been bit. No two questions about it. Anybody else doing what I do would have been burned. That's just the facts. And you're gonna see it in this video. Okay, and we're going to jump over and feed a couple of puff adders. Oh, you see that right there? I call that nestling. She's nestling in for a strike. And puff adders exhibit this behavior when there's a food prey coming. They know that there's food coming, and they're getting ready for a bang. And she can probably smell this rat already. See that? There she goes. She's doing it again. She's got a whiff of it, and she's going to go ahead and release a strike. And I haven't even sent no vibration her way yet. So this one's going to be kind of quick and violent. Oh, called that one on the money. And she is fast. Oh man, that was crazy. I knew that was coming. You got to be able to read that behavior. You can tell when it's going to be predatory. You can tell when it's going to be defensive. And that was all predatory. She got the smell of that prey item, a little bit of vibration, and she let it rip. That was awesome. Okay, we got another very large puff adder here. And she's starting to exhibit that same behavior. Now, I call it nestling because they kind of snuggle in back and forth, and they kind of get themselves in a position for a strike. And we really don't know what this behavior indicates just yet. They always exhibit it right before a feed, or when they know that it's food coming. And often, they'll actually lay their tongue out there and leave their tongue out there for a long period of time. I've experienced that also. But we're going to send her some vibration in. And notice that breathing's getting labored. I mean, I think they're building. They're building energy to their muscles for this explosive strike. And puff adders are very patient. They'll wait till that prey item damn near touches them on the nose. Oh! Oh, again! Oh, there it is. There it is. Wow, that was crazy. She slid her whole body forward. I've got a big barrier over my hand. And I'll tell you, that was just my reaction to move as I seen her body coming forward. I mean, it's always a little bit scary, even though I am 100% protected from a bite with this rig. Still, your natural reflexes are to try to get the hell out of the way. So, but she's a hungry girl. That was outstanding. You see, I want you to realize what happened in this strike sequence. Now, even though a lot of times when a puff adder makes them repetitive strikes, it's usually defensive. And they think they're defending themselves, and they'll bang, bang, bang. And that's not the case here. What happened, it was a pure predatory strike. I mean, the snake was hungry, but what happened was, I didn't realize it till after the fact, because I fed the puff adders first, and then I moved on and fed some other stuff, and I just happened to catch the breeze on the back of my neck, and I realized I left my damn ceiling fan on, okay? And I'm always griping about, puff adders are sight and smell hunters, and they're so tuned into sight and smell that any movement, even a shadow, they twist to it. I mean, they're really sight oriented. So what happened was, and this was my mistake, was I forgot to turn my ceiling fan off. And I've got fans that run in my snake rooms. I've got 4 fans that blow air up. Ceiling fan spreads it out. I mean, for the air or for the heat. So what happened was when I was feeding that, when I was feeding that puff adder, okay, she's in the top unit, and she caught the whiff of that rat blowing past her in a different direction, and a shadow from one of the blades on the fan, and that forced her to move her whole body forward and strike in a total different direction than the damn rat. And I want you to, if you gotta rewind it and check this out. Just how fast that snake did that on that first strike. And I've got my unit there, I've got my rig, and I'm totally protected. I'm 100% safe from a bite. Notice, the strike comes by, it doesn't hit my shield, nothing, it comes by, and notice, then you'll see me move back out of the way. You're not getting out of the way. It's not happening, okay? And then I reposition the rat, and it comes a second time up top towards the camera. The fan's still blowing that smell around, and it's shadows. It's seeing shadows moving, and that's what it's going for, instead of that stationary rat in front of it. That's what happened. And that's just how spooky it is. The slightest things can set a snake into a different area. So that's why you got to really be diligent and careful and stay strict to your protocols when you're feeding, when you're doing anything. And I realized it after the fact. If I was doing just a raw feeding and not filming, I mean, who knows what could have happened, But I've gotten to where I use that damn rig feeding all the time now, just for safety measures. But incredible, right? And then when she finally got the smell pinpointed, bam, she grabbed and held onto it. Pure predatory. So it was interesting to see that. But enough of me rambling. Just want to explain that to you. But interesting. And I'm going to tell you guys, you know what? Feeding Bitis, you never know what's going to happen. Handling them, you never know what's going to happen. That's why you got to treat them with the utmost respect. But we're going to jump over now, and we're going to do some fangs in your face with the Gaboon Vipers. And there's some humdingers in this. And watch how this big Gaboon, watch what this girl does. She comes completely backwards for a strike. Okay, we're going to pop in here and feed this big Gaboon female. We're going to cue her up with a little bit of vibration first. And you can see we've got her attention. She's already turned towards us a little bit. Oh my God! She come backwards and sideways on that. And that just goes to show you guys, no matter what position a Gaboon is in, they can leap. They can leave the ground, strike backwards. I mean, very athletic snake for such a short, little, heavy-bodied animal. That proves it right there. That snake spun around backwards and grabbed that rodent. That was awesome. Okay, we're going to go in on another Gaboon Viper here, and you can see this snake, it's already tongue flicking, pupils starting to move back and forth. It's already got a whiff of this rat, and it's going to jump up probably sideways here in a second and try to grab this thing without very little effort. This snake, oh, there it goes, does them crazy strikes and blinding speed. You know, we're talking about just how fast snakes can strike and what's the fastest striking snake. You know, everybody's got their own ideal of it, and there hasn't been a whole bunch of research on this topic. I mean, there has been a few institutions that are comparing snake speed, and the thing is that they're all so fast. The damn moral of the story is you're not getting out of the way of a striking snake. Okay, yet another Gaboon Viper, and we're going to feed a couple Gaboons, a couple Puff Adders. You guys tell me which ones you think are faster. Leave it in the comment section. And we're going to give this animal a little bit of vibration here to cue it up, let it know this isn't... Oh, that didn't take long at all, did it? And to finish my sentence, to cue it up, to let it know that it's a prey item coming in, and you know, so we get a nice predatory strike and not a defensive strike. And that's the key to feeding some of these big African vipers. So you kind of want to present this prey item in a certain way to let them know that this is food. You got to work on their natural instincts, their natural abilities to go ahead and incite a predatory strike. And that usually entails a little bit of vibration, letting them smell it, and getting it close enough in strike range where they can release that kind of a explosion of a strike. That was crazy fast. Unbelievable. What a beautiful specimen. And this animal is just now 2 years old. This animal was born right here at Venom Central 2 years ago. It is an outstanding example of a Bitis rhinoceros. That is the Gaboon Viper, the West African Gaboon Viper. How about them gaboons, huh? That first one, that snake was facing in the other direction. And I was trying to get over to the side of her, you know what I mean? But she caught a whiff, she caught the movement, and what'd she do? Totally backwards. I mean, can you imagine having that snake in your hands and thinking you're okay, all right? Or even having that snake on a hook too close to you and thinking you're okay. That's why you'll see when I'm handling gaboons, they're like, boom, they're out and away, keeping that hot end away from you. But that goes to show you, gaboons are totally unpredictable. You cannot take them for granted and think that they are just a lazy, placid snake. Because when it comes to a feed response, they have crazy athletic ability. So we're going to jump over now and feed the big Zobcons. Pay attention to the male. This is cool. I'm going to let you see this one on your own. Okay, we got a Krilla Zobcon coming in hot. Here he comes. Oh, he's like a lightning bolt. Attaboy. That is an awesome rattlesnake. That's the Yucatan rattlesnake. And that's a rather large one. That's a 5.5 foot male with a crazy feeding response. Okay, let's pop a feed real quick to this mama Zobcon. Let's see if she's hungry. She's pretty close to dropping babies, but she usually never refuses food. Yeah, that a girl. She's like, nope, I'm not going to pass up on a juicy rat, huh? There you go, big girl. And let's set her back there. And you notice where she's posted up at. She's right under her little heat lamp there. She's been there for several weeks. She's really close to dropping babies. Outstanding. I like it when they eat when they're gravid. They have bigger litters, healthier babies, bigger babies. They just do better. When snakes go off feed while they're gravid, it's a real big stress on them. It's a big stress on their bodies, and the babies just seem to kind of always be kind of puny and weak. But if they're feeding good the whole time that they're gravid, it's a big plus. See, y'all, and there it is. And of course, I didn't see that with my naked eye. And I came in after the fact, after Dina pinpointed, oh, he shed a fang. And I found it laying on the floor. That's why you put shoes on when you're walking around your damn snake rooms, okay? And I'll tell you, snakes shed their fangs more often than you realize. I mean, you find them everywhere. And they do it mid-strike. They break them off in rodents. And no, this snake didn't break its fang off. It didn't bite the tongs. It shed a fang. You see that thing just going bloop, 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 and flying out. Pretty cool stuff, right? Hey, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this one. Hey, if you want some cool Venomous Snake shirts, check out, we got a couple new tees put up, a couple new t-shirts. Go to venomcentral.org and place your order. And we appreciate the support. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that V logo thing and subscribe now. And come on back and check us out at Venom Central for some educational content. This is Willie. We're checking out. Later.